Hi everyone, welcome back. We're halfway through July now. The last thing we'd done was plant out the sweet corn, cucumbers, and tomatoes over there. They're all doing well. So I haven't done an update. That was about almost 3 weeks ago now. Sorry for that. But as you can see, everything's been growing away like crazy. Look at the size of this sunflower here. Look at the size of the leaf size. Some of the other ones have stayed a bit smaller, but they've started to flower now. Potato jungle's doing well. So all I want to do today is give you a quick run round and update you on everything that I've got growing. Um, so I've been really busy over there. I don't know if you can see behind me all these pots and bits and bobs. I'll take you over and show you in a second. Um, but yeah, everything's doing really well. So stay tuned. I'll come and get the camera and I'll just give you a real quick tour and show you how the veg garden's doing in mid-July 2022. Okay, so the wind's just picked up, so I'm hoping there's no wind noise in this video. Apologies if there is. But as you can see, everything's doing really well this year. The strawberries down there, just about done now. We've had loads of strawberries. And the beetroot and carrots there, doing really well. I'll try and take you in closer and show you. Okay, so as you can see, the beetroot's doing well. We've got some starting to form there, almost ready for harvest. And the carrots in there as well. Them ones aren't doing so well because they're swamped by the beetroot. The ones over this side are doing much better. Starting to get little carrots on there. And the marigold's companion planted seems to be working well. And I've got lots of peas ready to harvest soon. And the sunflowers are doing well. And the potato forest, all different varieties of potatoes in there. Starting to go to flower. Some of the ones in the pots are starting to die back, so they should be ready for harvest soon. And I've got a couple of pumpkin plants in here, which have just started getting flowers on. See, that's a female flower there. You can see the little pumpkin there. And that's a male flower. And this sunflower here has got huge leaves, so I think this is going to be a big one. As I said, some of the other ones have already started flowering, and they're not huge, but it's taller than me almost, so that's about 6 foot almost. And it's going to have multiple heads. It's got loads, it's waiting, so it's got a lot of growing to do. The other pumpkin plant there, and a little pumpkin. These are doing okay this year. Normally I struggle with pumpkins. Another big sunflower there. And a sweet corn, which we planted in the last video. It's doing really well. Cucumbers weren't doing so well, but I'll give them a little feed and made sure I've been watering them, and they seem to have perked up. I think one at the back there died, and we've got 3 which seem to be doing okay. The other row of sunflowers at the back there stayed quite small, but they're doing alright. And this is what I've been up to, so I'll just put my microphone back on because the wind's probably interfering. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me a bit better now. So this is what I've been up to. I've potted on, I chose 8 things to pot on because I've only got 8 of these big pots. And so I've got the 4 different types of tomatoes along there, and a watermelon, and 3 cucumber plants. In here I've put 6 tomato plants, and there is a watermelon plant at the back there. I will take you over and give you a close view of them in a minute, but I just want to update you on other things. See, the artichoke there's doing quite well, and the rhubarb's still growing, but it's not really doing too much. And the garlic's died off almost completely now. I did pull a couple up, and they didn't split into cloves, they just the big round balls, which I don't really mind. Makes life easier. You just get one giant clove of garlic rather than separate little ones. And the onions have all started flopping around all over the place. But looks like some fair sized onions on there. So that's good. And there is different varieties in here. There's some red ones down there. Hello, Jasper. What are you doing? Don't bite me. Yeah, so you can see the red ones in here as well. And there's another big white one there. They've still got a bit of swelling up to do. They're not quite ready for harvest. But it's looking like there's quite a good crop of onions in there. So I'm happy with that. The leeks I just left. They all went to seed. So the flowers are quite nice. Attract lots of bugs. And I can save the seeds from them. So we'll leave them be. Each one of these little flowers, once they're finished, will be a seed. So you get a good few hundred seeds off of each one. So I will harvest the seeds from them and just leave them be. So this is the fruit area. All my fruit bushes and fruit trees, grapevines. I'm not going to take you through them all, but I'll just pick out a few things to show you. So that one there was my new Goji Berry last year. Seems to be growing nicely. This one shoot here, I'm not sure why this has happened, but has just shot right up there. It's about 8 foot tall. So, not sure what's going on there. But never mind. And the 2 fig trees in there, looking good now. I've given them a little bit of a prune and took a load of cuttings off because I want to try and propagate some new fig plants. All the trees and stuff are doing well. They're growing well, but we didn't have a crop because most of these are quite new trees to me. And the wineberry here, looking like we're going to get a little crop on that. All the strawberries are just about done. There's a few still waiting to ripen, but we must have had about 10 punnets worth at least of all these. And the kiwi plant there has just gone crazy. I've pruned it back a bit as well, and this bit's grown all over here. And there's another one which is taking over. The end of it's there. So no kiwis on it though, but it's done a lot of growth. And the grapevine at the back there, first time we've had grapes growing on this, and there's quite a few. I did prune some off, There's still about 10 bunches on there, so I'm just going to leave them, see how it goes. And the raspberries here starting to ripen. Loads on there. And we've had a few off already. And the currant bushes, we've had a little crop, but they didn't grow much this year. The gooseberry bush, the gooseberries on there which have grown are almost ripe. We've got a fair few on there, not a huge amount, but it's the most I've had on it so far since I've had it. And the other currant bush at the back there. Again, we had a few berries, but it's just done a lot of growing this year. So that's it for the veg garden, more or less. I'll head over to the greenhouse, and then I will come back out and just show you this, these new things here quickly in a minute. Just really quickly show you the herb planter. It's all kind of gone a bit crazy now. There's loads of weeds and stuff in there, but you can see all these little flowers. The bees really love them, so I'm not in a rush to weed this. There's no point in me coming in here and pulling all this out. It's attracting loads of wildlife. Look at them little flowers. So don't be in a rush to do all your weeding, because a lot of the weeds, if you leave them, will go to flower. If you don't want them spreading, just wait till the flowers die and then put them out before they go to seed. But this is like a wildlife haven at the moment. There's not much on it at the moment because it's quite early in the morning. Anyway, take you into the greenhouse. There's the soapberry tree, which I did a video on, or washnut, Indian washnut. So that's grown really well since I got it. It was just a stick to there, and it's grown all that since I've had it. Some of my lavenders have come up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They don't look like lavender at the moment, but whenever I touch them, you can really smell that it is lavender. And the next set of leaves will be more like lavender leaves, I think. There's a raspberry cutting that I took. I think that's rooted. So I just pulled off one of the suckers. Had a couple of tiny roots on it, so I stuck it in there. That's rooted in. That's an orange tree, grown from a pip. I did have this in the house, but I've just put it in the greenhouse because it prefers it outside. All the flowers still haven't been planted out, and now they're flowering in these little tiny pots. So they would have done much better if I'd actually planted them out, but never mind, they're still nice to look at. And most of the stuff in here is just my spare stuff. So I've still got 10 tomato plants there. Obviously they're way too big for these little pots now, but they are still growing and flowering. So whether or not I actually manage to get them planted somewhere or not, I might try and give them away. There might still be time for them to produce. That's an avocado plant there. I did do a video on that as well, so there's a couple of videos on growing the avocados. But it almost died off. It wasn't in the house, so I brought it back out, stuck it in the greenhouse, and it looks like it's recovering. Here's a load of peppers. We've got jalapenos and sweet peppers. I potted these up a little while ago, but They're going to need potting up again. They're in 3 litre pots at the moment, so when I pot them up again, I'm going to put them in 10 litre pots. That should be big enough for them. You see the flowers just about starting there, so hopefully we'll get a crop off these. But they're doing well anyway. And there is another cucumber plant in there, which I haven't managed to do anything with yet. It's just in a 3 litre pot as well. And it's already starting to produce cucumbers. Down here is my spare stuff. So there's a spare watermelon, a couple of spare melon plants. These are Canary Melons from the shop. I saved the seeds from them. And there's another watermelon plant back there, which is kind of trying to take over the greenhouse now. So whether or not I managed to pot that up somewhere, I don't know yet. I'm running low on big pots. This is more sweet peppers, still in little pots, so these haven't been potted on, but they are the same age, so it goes to show the difference between one you potted up and one you haven't. Sown exactly the same time, but that's been sat in that pot. It's still healthy, but it's just not growing because it's probably used up the nutrients in that pot. Anyway, put that back, and that's about it for today. I will just run you over and show you my new area over there. See them 8 pots and the planter there. Just run you over there quickly and show you what's going on. Okay, so I didn't record. I've just been cracking on and not done too many videos, but I've just planted this up. Well, not just, but a couple of weeks ago. So there's 6 tomato plants in there, all doing well now. And I've used this old frame from a swinging chair and tied up some wire to support stuff. So there's lots of tomatoes in here doing well. We've got our first little tomatoes starting to form here, and lots of other flowers which will turn into tomatoes. This is the Tigerella, so we've got a couple on there so far. And the Costoluto Fiorentino Italian beefsteak, couple in there starting to form. So we look forward to that. I need to take some of the suckers off. I'll just show you quickly what I'm talking about when I say suckers. So this is a sucker here. So with the large varieties of tomatoes, like the beefsteaks, it's best to remove most of these because you won't have time for them to ripen if we allow the whole plant to send up loads of shoots. So we normally just train it to one stem, about 4 or 5 trusses of tomatoes, and then remove the rest. With the smaller varieties like the Roma, you can leave a few more stems to grow because the smaller varieties ripen quicker. Anyway, that's all that's in there. I'm seeing the marigolds I've planted in there. Oh, we'll just take it around the other side because I planted a watermelon plant in here too. So this is a watermelon. And we've actually got our first little melon starting to form there. And more marigolds. Just started to come out to flower these. Then the tomatoes we planted in the ground here, they're not doing too great. They are growing. couple of flowers on there. I don't know if they have time to grow and ripen, but I don't think they like my soil really. It's very clay. It's very hard, very clay, and it's very dry at the moment. So it's not great. So in these plant pots here, 3 cucumbers here. Just starting to get the first cucumbers growing. There's a fair few on here, and we'll be fed up with these soon because there will be hundreds. Same with this one. More little cucumbers on that one. And I'll put another watermelon in a pot here. No flowers on that one yet. There should be soon. And I put one of each tomato plant in as well. That's a Tigerella. So with the Tigerella, because it's a large variety, I will be removing the majority of the suckers or side shoots. You can cut them off, but I just tend to bend them back and they snap off. There's one there which I've let get a bit big, so it can still come off, but I might leave that one for now. That's the beefsteak. That's the actual full name of it, if you're wondering. Costaluto Fiorentino. And I put that in the 1st of May. So a little bit later than I normally would, but that was done on purpose because our weather was a bit rubbish. There should still be time. We've got plenty of time for these flowers to grow and ripen, hopefully. And there's a Roma and a red cherry there. They were stuck in little pots for a little bit too long. That's why they've got all these yellowing leaves. But you can see the new growth at the top. It's looking much better since they've been put in these big pots. Cucumbers we planted in there. 3 of them are doing quite well. They did start dying off, but I've been watering them and feeding them. They seem to have perked up. We had one fatality. That one down there died. Not sure why. I think it's our soil. They do much better if I put them in compost in a pot, even if they're in the same environment. And the sweet corn, which we planted in the last video about 3 weeks ago. So that's grown a lot since then. So hopefully we'll get a nice harvest of sweet corn. Okay, so that's what I've been up to. Okay everyone, so hope you enjoyed the little tour today. And I'm sorry that it's been so long since my last video. I normally try and update a bit more often, but I just get busy and just want to crack on with things. And I haven't had time to get the camera out and record some videos, so sorry about that. But anyway, now you're fully updated, and we'll keep you updated on these. Hopefully they'll do well out here. If the weather turns a bit rubbish, I can put them back in the greenhouse. So that's the good thing about growing things in pots. If it's not doing well where it is, you can move it somewhere else. So I'm looking forward to next harvests on everything. I think the potatoes will be ready soon. I've got to pull up the garlic, so keep an eye out for the next videos. Should be some more interesting ones coming up. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a great week, and hope you can stay out of this heat that we're expecting. It's going to be over, they're saying we could get up to 40 degrees Celsius. In the UK, that's unheard of. So just be careful in the heat and have a nice weekend, and I'll see you on the next video.